Hey, it's Courtney. I'm in Grand Park. Join me for 5 minutes of peace and ease. Hey, Grand Park. It's Courtney. Welcome back for your second Easy Mornings. So today we're going to get into the state of ease again. Really quick, just a 5-minute thing. This stuff doesn't have to be a big thing to make a big difference. And I just want to remind us that yoga says that when we lean into ourselves and when we come to know the truth of our own hearts, we come to know the truth of all hearts. And when we step into what's going on with us, we more easily step into what's going on with the world. And again, if this sounds a little too much, just think about it as carving out a little space for yourself so that you find that state of presence and ease, so that you can show up to others, people in your house, people in your community, so that we can maybe come from a place of understanding. So today, our focus for ease will be the lower body. So I recommend sitting on the floor. If that's not possible for you, you could do most of this up in a chair, and I'll offer those modifications. So this really is accessible to all, hopefully. Okay, so let's find our tall spine. So grounding down into your seat. If you're sitting on a chair, make sure your feet are flat on the earth. And if you're sitting on the earth, really allow the thighs to ground down, rise your heart from your tailbone, send your shoulders away from your ears, place your palms either up or down on your legs somewhere. And then if it feels comfortable to close the eyes, go ahead and do that. You could also take a soft gaze at the floor. And we'll start by just tuning into ourselves. So noticing your body, noticing where it's touching, and really allow it to touch. So allowing it to ground down. Start to take a little bit of ownership over the way that you're choosing to breathe. So maybe choosing a little bit of a stable and steady and slow breath. Check in with your shoulders, send them away from your ears, soften your jaw. Here, if the eyes are closed, go ahead and flutter them open. Take a soft gaze. And then we'll start by getting into the hips a little bit. So you're going to keep your, I'll tell you what to do if you're sitting in a chair, but for the people sitting on the floor, take your right foot parallel to the top, if you have a mat, to the top of the mat, and then send your left knee out from your left hip. So if you were sitting in a chair, you would take your left ankle and cross it over your right thigh and keep your left foot down on the earth. So from here, we're getting into the front of the hip, the side of the hip. If it feels okay, you can start to take a little easeful stance, almost like you were chilling at the beach. Allow that upper left thigh to open, send your shoulders away from your ears, and then just take a couple breaths. Push up out of the shoulders. Breathe into your upper hip flexor, the outer hip flexor. One more deep breath wherever you are. And then from here, release yourself forward. We'll switch to the other side. So we'll take the left shin parallel to the front of the mat if you have one. If not, just parallel to the front. And then the right knee is going to come out to the side. So the right hip is in line with the right knee. If you're sitting up on a chair, you would take your left ankle and cross it up over your right thigh. And then from here, start to walk yourself back. Puff up your chest, send your shoulders away from your ears. Let your heart spread open wide. Take a couple deep breaths into whatever this feels like. How's your jaw? Are you softening there? And then on your exhale, release yourself forward. So from here, we're going to take the left leg out to the side. The right foot's going to come in towards us. We'll take the hands to frame the extended left leg. The left shoulder's reaching back. If you're in a chair, you could just take the left shoulder back to find a little twist. And then with as much bend in your extended leg as you need, start to walk yourself to whatever degree feels good. So we're just finding an easeful stretch. It doesn't have to be the biggest stretch we've ever taken. Put a little flex in your left foot, send your left shoulder back, send your shoulders away. There's a little theme of the shoulders away from the ears. See if you can imagine breathing up and down the back of your extended left leg. On your next inhale, walk yourself up. We'll switch it to the other side. So the left foot comes in, the right leg extends out. Remember, you can put as much bend into your extended leg as you need. We want to be kind to the hamstrings. We don't want to cause additional strain. Frame your extended leg. The right shoulder reaches back. If you're sitting up in a chair, focus on the twist. So send that right shoulder back. Find a length in your spine, and then almost like you were offering your heart to your extended toes, send your heart towards your right pinky toe. Send the right shoulder back. Remember, you can bend your knee if the hamstring doesn't like this so much. On your next inhale, find your way up. Turn your heart forward. We'll take both legs to extend out. Find a little bit of bend in your knees. Rise your spine tall. Remember, you can bend your knees. You can put something underneath your thighs if you need that support. And then exhale to fold your heart towards your feet. So you could just round in the spine if you're sitting up in a chair, sending your heart forward. You could also come to a standing forward fold. So that if you were standing, your feet would be hips distance. And then you would fold yourself over with as much bend in your knees as you need. Let's take a couple breaths here into the backs of the legs. Keep the shoulders down. And then inhale to release up. Find that little gentle cross of your legs. Draw your hands in a gesture of prayer at your heart. And then just maybe making a little vow to share this state of ease with whoever's in your house, whoever you see throughout your day at the grocery store. Thank you so much for being here. Enjoy the rest of the show. Namaste.
we are Cerda Vega Food Truck and you are watching Grand Park's Easy Mornings. So what parks mean to me are, it's a really fun place for families and people to come together and have fun and just enjoy nature in the city.
Para mí los parques significan donde puedes ir a disfrutar con tu familia, tus hijos, a agarrar una buena comida, un buen drink, diversión. Para nosotros nos ha ayudado bastante venir al parque. Agarramos más seguidores, venimos, trabajamos, la gente viene, prueba nuestra comida, nos damos más a conocer aquí en Los Ángeles. Familias nos reconocen, vamos por las calles, han estado en el Grand Park. Ha sido un gran éxito para nosotros.
What I like about Grand Park is everything. It's my favorite spot would have to be the fountain, which is right behind us. Every time I know that I'm coming here and I know that I'm gonna be by the fountain, my heart kind of like skips a beat. I remember being a child running around in the fountain, wetting my feet. It's a really beautiful place. It's full of community, it's full of spirit, and it's been crucial to our growth. If it wasn't for Grand Park, we wouldn't be where we're at right now because they were one of the first people that gave us the opportunity to come out and serve our delicious food. So Grand Park, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Para mí Grand Park significa las primeras personas que nos dieron el camino para crecer un poco más. Thank you. Y los organizadores nos encantan. Y los parties que hacen en Año Nuevo, el 14 de febrero, todos los eventos que hacen aquí, vénganse y disfruten de comida, un buen ambiente, música, etc.
Angela, Marty, we love you guys. Staff, everybody, thank you guys.
Thank you, thank you.
Good morning, my name is Jared Hill with Brightview Landscape Services, branch manager for Los Angeles. We're here at Grand Park, LA, showcasing some of the floristic kingdoms we have to offer here in the beautiful park. Grand Park was designed with sustainable landscape in mind, where we have a bunch of different gardens, floristic kingdoms that help represent certain areas of the world to help kind of complement the culture that we have here in Los Angeles. Some of my favorite areas of the park are probably with the trees. As a certified arborist, I'm one that kind of just really, has a niche for some of the trees. We have very many different species of trees here, a wide variety as well, and it helps kind of the natural feel of this park where it provides shade and cleans the air. I think one of the best parts for me in this park is all the wonderful trees here. Brightview, to maintain a park this size, we're here every day. We employ best practices in horticulture to where we're natural pruning some of the native plants, irrigation management to where the right water is being used for certain landscapes, such as this park, and seasonally, where you're doing certain things seasonally, where it might be fertilization and things like that, all around the wellness of the plant and making sure everything is living well. So we're here in Grand Park in the Olive Court area of Grand Park, and we can talk here about this wonderful lavender plant. Lavender's very drought tolerant, sustainable landscape, used very well in a sustainable landscape. Lavender kind of goes through well with the coastal rosemary. This is Westringia coastal rosemary. Another great plant for California-friendly landscapes, low water, low maintenance, complementing this area as well. The park has also a variety of different ornamental grasses as well. Some of the ornamental grasses here. My favorite trees, one of the varieties of oak tree here. This is Quercus agrifolia, coastal live oak, complemented really well here in the park. Right here we have Jerusalem sage, or a variety of plomis, identifiable with this really nice yellow flower here. Flowers in the earlier spring, so you can see some of the spent flowers here. Another great plant that helps complement this area of Olive Court. We're using all different kinds of ornamental grasses. This particular fountain grass here is really nice with its with size, and the flower plumes give off a different texture that helps kind of complement certain areas within the park. One of the many trees that we have here in Grand Park is this Hong Kong orchid tree. Really beautiful orchid flower here. It's also identifiable with this very interesting shape of a leaf. It kind of looks like an apple that's been cut open, is the way I can always identify it. Just a great complement in another variety of tree here within the park.
Mi nombre es Héctor Valencia. Yo aproximadamente 26 años en la compañía. Aquí en el Gran Park llevo 4 años y hasta ahorita hemos tenido las plantas saludables. Me gusta trabajar aquí en la compañía porque en la jardinería siempre me he enfocado en las plantas, en todo que se mantenga bien en perfecta condición. El parque favorito es el zacate que está aquí. Acá donde se mantiene más toda la gente.
Hello, my name is John. Welcome to Grand Park. And what I love about Grand Park is the open space. You can come out here and enjoy yoga. You can do sports, play football, go baseball around, frisbee, and this is Grand Park's Easy Mornings.
Hi, I'm Karina. I'm from the Fotos project, and I've been a part of them for about 2 semesters. In my time, I've learned how to express myself through photography. Having been a part of the Fotos project has not only offered various opportunities for me, but also given me a chance to be emotionally supported and feel welcomed and included.
My name is Gabby. I've been a mentor with Las Fotos project for 3 years now. And in my time working with a big group of teenage girls, it's been so amazing to see them learn about themselves and each other through the practice of photography. And Las Fotos does such a great job of creating a safe, comfortable space that even I have grown a lot as an artist.
Today we're going to be learning about framing. Basically what framing is creating a frame within a frame. You could do this with curtains, arcs, anything to highlight your subject.
Today we wanted to frame beautiful City Hall, and there are lots of ways to do that with the trees and foliage around, so I think we chose 2 palms on either side. Yeah. And you can also even get creative and get between the trees and get a little bit obscured. But
it's all about the angles.
Once again, just making it easy for the viewer to find what to look at, and it makes it pleasing.
Las Fotos Project is a community-based nonprofit organization that inspires teenage girls through photography, mentorship, and self-expression. Offering year-round programming, we provide girls with access to professional cameras, quality instruction, and workshops that encourage them to explore their identity, build leadership skills, and advocacy skills, and strengthen their social and emotional well-being.
So you can get involved with Las Fotos Project as a student, volunteer, mentor, host, or teaching artist. Students can sign up for classes online. Volunteers and mentors can sign up to support our students in the same way. And if you're an artist who wants to teach your own personal brand of photography, reach out. We would love to offer a class with your name on it. And lastly, if you want to host a workshop or don't want to commit to a full class, you can also reach out to do something on our Instagram, lasfotosproject.org.
My name is Jose Richard Aviles. I am a performance artist and a social worker. And I specifically bring these 2 things together because that is what inspired Semilla. Semilla is my first publication coming out this month. And so Semilla is Spanish for seed. And where this idea came from, at first it was kind of a little bit of a joke, realizing that I had been the first queer in a lot of different men's lives. I was their first seed. So that was the first intention for it. And as I wrote this piece and I wrote these next 50 poems, I realized that there's a lot of firsts that happen in our lives. The first heartbreak, the first traumas that we remember, our parents' traumas, being the oldest. So Semilla is about all of those things. We all plant semillas, little seeds, in everything that we do. Is the way that we impact relationships, partners, co-workers, lovers, whomever you think of. Those are little semillas, right? And we have to put in water and we have to cultivate the soil in the hopes that these relationships bloom into flowers. Some bloom into weeds and, there's nothing we can do but cultivate the soil. Semilla is about that. Now, throughout my life, there have been a couple of semillas that I'm not the proudest of. There is specifically a piece in the book called Al Salir la Luna, which explains the relationship between me, the oldest, and my 2 younger brothers who are now 15 and 13. Now, I say that I'm not the proudest of this relationship because when I left LA for undergrad, they were 4 and 2. My younger brothers grew up without me as their oldest sibling. So rebuilding our relationship has been a little bit hard. They now have gotten to meet me as an adult and I've gotten to meet them as teenagers. And that's not to say that we haven't been close. It's just a new relationship. Al salir la luna is a poem that explains that. My favorite is that I am their girasol, their sunflower, reaching, showing them where the sun is without casting shadows on their flowers. It's never fun to be the oldest, right? You always, as the youngest, the middle child, are told, I hope you don't live in the shadows of your siblings. Semilla explores all those things, and the thing that makes me the happiest about Semilla is the Semilla that I never imagined, the seed that I never dreamt of, and that is my little nephew. Now, the moment that my nephew came into my life, it just changed everything. I finally believe in love at first sight, and it happened with my nephew. I am a first-generation person living here in Los Angeles, born and raised. I don't have cultural history to look to, for I am the cultural prototype. That is also the curse of being first generation. And now there's a second generation in front of me, and I have to ensure that the second generation is growing up being proud of who they are and all the complexities of their identities, right? And that's why I end my book, Before the World Ends, with the lines, Mi gordito, el hijo que nunca tuve, pero que siempre soñé. My little one, the son I never had, but I always dreamt. This piece is dedicated to my little nephew, Baby J. Now, I want us to take a moment and think through about these things in our life, and I'm going to guide you through what I call the flower poem. So I'm gonna give you some time. Go grab a piece of paper. I think you got it, maybe? Perfect. Let's start with the roots, semillas. What is at the foundation of who you are? Who raised you? Who brought you up? Maybe there was absence here and there. Who were those who helped lay the roots of who you are? Now we move up to the stem. What are the things that hold you together? What are the forces and the people that help you stay grounded, that help you remind you that you are part of this ground? Is it your educational background? Is it your familia? Is it the smells of your neighborhood? What are the things that ground you and held you in your step? And now we go to our petals. What are the things that bring you joy? But it's not that joy, you know, that faux joy, the one that's very surface. It's that one that brings smiles, de oreja a oreja, like we say in Spanish, from ear to ear. I know you know that type of smile. I have it right now. What brings you joy? Those are your petals. And lastly, we also must honor those falling petals that fall off, the thorns of the flower. We all have them. We wouldn't be who we are without them. What are the things that you're not proud of? Now, don't write about them if you don't feel comfortable, if you feel slightly triggered. Just draw a thorn. They're there. We'll talk about it later. I really hope you enjoyed this prompt of the flower poem. And if you feel so that your heart invites you, please reach out to me. My name is Jose Richard Aviles. You can find me on Instagram at Soy Nalgona, or please share it here at Grand Park. And remember, you were watching today Grand Park's Easy Mornings. We would love to hear your flower poems. We all deserve to be flowers. Thank you. Walk with me along the park for Grand Park's Easy Mornings, as I will be performing an excerpt of my upcoming chapbook, Semilla. In the next couple of weeks, we will be talking more about love, lust, generational trauma, and the healing of said trauma. Make sure you tune in for Grand Park's Easy Mornings as I perform an excerpt of Semilla.
Good morning. Welcome to Color Healing Sesh with Gurl Museum Day at Grand Park Easy Mornings. My name is Diane Lindquist, founder of Gurl Museum Day. For those interested in learning what we do, my Gurl Museum Day team is dropping links to our website and social media in the comments to maximize our time. Okay, let's begin. This morning, we're taking the next 10 to 15 minutes to heal together through coloring. We're coloring Grand Park's little libraries. These little libraries were placed right after Grand Park opened. Started by Grand Park's director, Drila Diamond, they operate in 3 basic principles. 1. You take a book or leave a book. 2. You read the book, preferably at Grand Park's iconic pink bench or a shady area. 3. You do it all over again. It's currently on hiatus since COVID, but they will be back. For now, let's color and heal together. Alright, so we have to pick our colors. I'm thinking pink seems appropriate. So I'm picking in my pink colors that I want to color them. Alright, let's color. Don't be afraid to use any colors you want. It doesn't have to be pink. I just love seeing it pink, so I'm gonna color it pink. What colors are you coloring your little libraries? Now, we left a lot of space around the little library because we want you to kind of draw whatever color in however you want the background to be. It's kind of up to you. Once we get there, I can show you what I have planned for my coloring sheet here. We also left some of these books pretty blank with no titles. So if you want to go back in and kind of plug in the kind of books you want to see in the little libraries, go ahead and hand draw the titles that you want those books to be in, or you could just color them in different types of colors you want. The point is to just take time to slow down and just be. Okay, I'm almost done with mine here, just the outer edge of it. To sharpen up this one. It's always good to have a sharpener by hand close by to just fit it up our little Grand Park. And just know that you can get, with pressure, you can get different kind of effects. See how I'm putting pressure on? I'm getting a very darkened color shade, so it looks much more even. So feel free to use that pressure with your color pencils to get how dark you want something to look like. Just a little tip. Okay, almost done here. Alright, I'm gonna put my titles of my book last. I probably will end up sharing it later to see what kind of titles I pick. But I want, what's important is to get to the background of this, so you can see what I do with it, and it'll be really nice to see what you do with it. It's pretty open to interpretation. It's what you want to see. Sharpie up again. Applying pressure to get it really nice and filtered. Last piece. Then I'm gonna make this a different color. Oh, we want this one here. Okay, so for the background, I'm going to take my pencil and draw something abstract and geometric. We left it empty for you to create your own design. Alright, I'm going to do something very abstract for my background. All you need is a pencil and kind of draw what you want to see in the background. I am going to do shapes and see where that goes. And using the pencil helps because then you can erase if you don't like what you see. So I'm just going to kind of do these random kind of shapes onto don't really like that, so I'm gonna erase that and draw another shape. Oops. That's better. Now that I have my shapes, put my pencil away, and then I'm going to choose colors that I want to use for this. Then you just color in. Feel free to drop any questions or comments below. Broke a pencil. Gotta extend this a little. Okay. And you could totally fill up your paper with your patterns or whatever you want to put in the background. I'm just going to just fill up these shapes and leave the rest of the background white. Okay, last shape. Done for now. I'm going to continue, and I encourage you to continue to finishing up your coloring sheet. I definitely want to add little titles on mine and maybe color the books inside. So I'm going to keep continuing that and then sharing on our social media our results. I want to get darker and different corners. So feel free to continue and then show us what you come up with. Please share with us your coloring sheets by tagging us at Gurl Museum Day, at GrandPark_LA, and hashtag GrandParks Easy Mornings. We'll be reposting your coloring sheets on social media. Thank you for joining us, and join us next Saturday. We'll be coloring Grand Park's playground. Bye.
Grand Park is a unique space within the city of Los Angeles where it's a very nice sized park. It's a natural space where people can relax and come and exercise and just get away from the bustle of the city. It's a natural filter as well, where it kind of drowns out some of the sounds of the city, cleans the air, and really provides some relaxation to some of the public that would come and enjoy the space.
Okay, so the way public spaces have helped the growth of Cerda Vega's food truck is by allowing us to come to these places where large gatherings of people come together and for fun and enjoy really, really good food. If it wasn't for these type of places, our business wouldn't have grown as it has. So we are very thankful for that.
And the second way that I think about a park is that it's a gathering place, especially right now with COVID. It's the only place I feel really safe to maybe get together with a friend, at a proper distance and just be able to be together. I love teaching yoga in the park. We have a great community that comes from all walks of life, all workplaces, all cultures. And it's just a really beautiful way to all come together to do something really nice for ourselves in community. And I've met some really amazing humans through teaching together at the park.
What are the things that bring you joy? But it's not that joy, that faux joy, the one that's very surface. It's that one that brings smiles, de oreja a oreja, like we say in Spanish, from ear to ear.
My favorite memory at a park is probably my home park in Whittier, Parnell. We would always go in the summers and during field trips, and they don't have these anymore, but the merry-go-round where you can whip it and go really, 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 really fast. Yeah, I used to like to spin my friends around on that. Barbecues, family parties.